Howdy, folks. I'm Curious Corvus, carefully counting colorful candies.
I'm Amber.
And here are more colorful candies for us to count. And I wish I had my crow mask right now. Because I'm Corvus, the crow. Well, Corvid constellation. Let's get cawing? Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Now that I have won my husband back, I am leaving him. And this is from True Off My Chest. I have secured an apartment for my baby and me, and I have put everything in order and prepared for custody, shared or otherwise. I have divided the money and transferred my share to a third account and will stay there until the divorce proceedings and then dividing of the assets. I found out that my husband was having an affair while I was postpartum. I thought that I would die because I love him, and it felt like my heart was broken into a million pieces. I know that it was over, but my curiosity got the best of me. I wanted to know why. What was it that she had that I didn't? Did he love her? I started reading his texts, and everything was there. He felt like he was alive again. He was happy and excited. She was single and childless, so she had all the time in the world to make him her priority. He felt seen and desired by her. I was confused because, even with life coming between us, he was always my love, and I made sure he knew that every single day. Still, it was not enough. I read thousands upon thousands of messages between them, and I started bringing everything that he fantasized about. In the beginning, it felt weird, and he was confused, but I just went on. Every time he made plans with her, I found a way to make sure that he stayed, or I made sure that I sent him there exhausted. The messages became less and less frequent, and the passion and excitement subsided. Soon, answering her became more of a chore. The complaining started, and him pulling away. He was happier at home, and he couldn't wait to come home. He started texting me again during the day, the sweetest text of how he missed me. He was his old self again. One day, what I had hoped and waited patiently for happened. He ended things with her. He told her that he loved me now, and everything was great again. Her services weren't needed, in other words. I felt relief, and I finally could move on. Now I am preparing for my divorce. He will get the papers the day that I leave for my new life in my new apartment. I know that I will get a lot of hate for this because I have neglected my husband and pushed him to seek solace in another woman's arms when I apparently could have given him what he sought all along. And believe me, I will bear the guilt of this for the rest of my life. In my defense, I didn't do it intentionally. Our lives had just become altered drastically, and I was trying to navigate this new and exciting existence. I was immersed in this new kind of world and happiness that I thought I was sharing with him. And I was trying to get to know my new body that I couldn't recognize anymore. A really scary feeling. But he could have come to me with his hurt. He could have talked to me about his suffering. And he could have tried to make me more understanding, but he chose not to. He chose to deceive me, deceive us. He ruined our love and our future, and even our history. Nothing was, is, or will be the same ever again. Alright, folks, what do you think of this revenge story?
I mean, I think, first of all, OP, it's not your fault your husband cheated. He made a conscious choice. And I think it's very common for people when a new family member is added into the mix to have to devote some time to caring for said mini human. You've been recovering from childbirth. It makes perfect sense that you're not just going to be exactly to how things were before.
Yeah.
And he didn't, like you said, he didn't even talk to you. He didn't even express his frustrations, which wasn't even necessarily appropriate. Like, that might be better saved for a therapist when your wife is like a few months postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't communicate anything. He just went straight to cheating and deceiving you. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is a real piece of work, right? I mean, who cheats on their postpartum wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys, apparently.
Yeah.
But OP didn't even know why he was cheating. And when she read the messages, she kind of found hints of it, right? And so he wanted more attention or whatever he wanted. And I think that he could have talked to his wife like a mature adult, and because life sometimes gets in the way and life gets complicated, but he really had a responsibility to talk to her.
Yes, well, and then to top it off, like, how much childcare is he actually doing if he has this much time to be out with other people?
Yeah, that's a good question. It doesn't seem like it seems like he has a lot of free time, right?
So if OP is the one who's doing all the childcare and housework on top of everything else, like, how dare he be upset that she's
Mm-hmm.
not meeting his every need?
Yeah. So I also do want to talk about OP's mental state here a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. I think that OP is coming down off of like adrenaline. They're also coming off of postpartum. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here. They're probably on like an emotional like high at the moment here because of like this the excitement of going through with something like this. And that's going to come crashing down at some point in time. And I think that OP would be it would be a good idea for them to seek out a counselor and to kind of talk about this whole thing and this whole ordeal because I don't think the reality of it has quite hit OP yet. And I mean
Mm-hmm.
that's understandable because there's a lot that has happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this is going to be a good thing for them to sit down with a therapist and talk about these things. And I'm not, of course not saying that OP shouldn't divorce this guy or anything
No, I
like
mean,
that.
he's made it very clear that he is not a good partner.
Hmm. And I mean, I know that he's happy now, but OP's gonna have to put this exact same kind of like, keep him under control, so to speak, for the rest
Right.
of his life type of
Right.
thing.
And if he ever feels unsatisfied, like, he's gonna go out to cheat again, like, heaven
Hmm.
forbid the kid, like, cry all day teething or something like that, and OP's too tired to meet his every needs.
Hmm. So yeah, I think that OP is I would be hard pressed to judge OP for what they've done here. I don't think that revenge is the best way of solving problems, but I don't think that they are a terrible person. If anyone is a terrible person, I think their husband who cheated on them is a terrible person, right? So I hope that OP finds a lot of healing in the future and that they can live their best life. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And our next letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk? I, a 46-year-old male, missed my 34-year-old female's wife's graduation. And today we will be blessed with Amber's reading.
I'm a 46-year-old male, and I've been with my wife, a 34-year-old female, for over a decade now, and we've been married for almost 15 years. Our oldest was born when my wife was 22, and at the time, she dropped out of university with one class left to be a stay at home mom. I was very supportive of this decision as I earned more than enough for our family. 4 years ago, my wife had our twins. When they turned 2 and started going to preschool, my wife started talking about going back to school to finish the class she was missing. I was also supportive of this and paid for her to complete the class. Now, as she is finishing up, she said that she wants to attend the graduation ceremony in May. I laughed and told her that was ridiculous. She will have only completed the one class. The degree was basically done years ago. She seemed surprised at this and asked if I'd attend if she'd walked at the university's graduation, and I said no. She called me a jerk and didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. Would I be the jerk if I didn't attend my wife's graduation?
Oh my goodness. Talk about supportive partners.
Right. I mean, I think the first of all, this is not about one class. She never got to celebrate those other 4 years she put into school
Yeah.
because she dropped out.
Yeah.
And so it's not like she's getting a degree for a single class. She is getting a degree for an entire work history.
Well, and that's exactly it. It's like is celebrating her whole career or her whole undergraduate degree program, and a program that she delayed, mind you, to help take care of their shared child.
Right. She put her life and her wants and needs on hold for a very long time
Mm-hmm.
so that she could take care of the kids. And now that she's finally able to finish off this degree, Opie is just being like, it's not important. You only took one class. Why would I celebrate you?
Yeah, I mean, I think this feels more like OP trying to tear her down
Mm-hmm.
in order to kind of like maintain control. And it feels a lot like that because there's no good reason for you not to celebrate your wife's accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason why he would have, the only motivation he would have is that she now can be more independent than she was before, right? And maybe
Yeah.
that scares him, that she doesn't necessarily depend on him as much as she might have at one point in time.
Yeah, well, and if you look at their ages, she was very young when they married. You know, she was a teenager, and he was an actual, like, I don't know, he's like a decade of 12 years older than her, something like that. So it seems like he probably control is a thing for him. Like I don't know for sure, but it does seem like, based on the age gap, the fact that he was much more advanced in his career,
Yeah.
and had no problem with her like dropping out to take care of the kids when she only had a single class to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, he may very well be concerned about losing his hold on her.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the time, she was 22 and he's 12 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
So he was 34. And that is a bit of a age gap right there. And I mean, not that I'm saying like all age gaps have to be bad relationships, because
Well,
I
of
think that there are
course.
of course age gaps that do work. But it does seem like his motivation here is very self-serving.
Well, it
And
does, and that's the thing, is like, I understand if she really, really wanted to drop out, but I wonder, like, since she only had one class left, why didn't he put more effort into, like, oh, let me help you get through this one class so you can graduate?
yeah, well, I think it seems like he didn't want to give her that opportunity, or didn't want to afford her that, because 12 years, 15 years is a long time to go without giving them a chance to finish their degree, right? So, I mean, she was almost finished, a class away, and he never like encouraged her throughout the whole time. So it sounds like they probably had more kids after that,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you keep her knocked up, then she can't go and pursue her aristocratic degree, right? I mean, maybe this is cynical of me, but it kind of feels that way. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Help My Sister Out When I'm the Only Person in Our Family That She Lives Close Enough to, and She Has Children? I'm a 31-year-old female, and I have not spoken to my sister in 10 years after she had an affair with my ex. I was with my ex from age 15 until we were 20. My sister was 19 at the time, and the affair had been ongoing. Most likely, they started the affair not that long after my sister turned 18. My ex was the same age as me. My ex proposed to me while we were together. My sister was helping with that and encouraging me to marry him before he proposed. This was so that he would be around and they could keep sleeping together. We got engaged a few months later, and my sister told me that I couldn't marry him because she was pregnant with his child. She tried to salvage the relationship with me and asked me to understand and not be mad at her. I told her that this was disgusting and I would not forgive her. I also told our parents what she had done. I saw my sister once after her first child was born, a year or so after I had learned about the affair. She told me that she missed me and she wanted her daughter to know her aunt. She tried her best to get me to at least agree to a relationship with her daughter, but I told her that it was not possible and I was not going to forgive her, and I told her not to talk to me again. My parents and extended family also stopped talking with her when she started dating him for real, and they only resumed contact after they broke up. They then supported her because of the kids. My parents couldn't bring themselves to turn their backs on their grandkids or to sever the relationship forever. I was fine with it because I do understand. But her having kids was not an incentive for me to repair things. I am now happily married and a mom myself. A few weeks ago, my parents called me and told me that my sister had been living 20 minutes from me for the last 2 years. They know that I don't want to talk about her, so until this point they had not. She moved out of state for a job, and then she lost her job, and her landlord had told her that she needed to be out in 60 days because he was repurposing the house. Without her original job and no support network here, she had turned to them. She didn't want to pull her kids away from the place that they were used to now, so my parents decided that I should be the one to help. They told me that if I could help her by putting her in touch with people for a job and maybe another rental, it would be so amazing. They wanted me to step in before the 60 days was up. I refused to help, and I told them that I will never do a single thing for her again. They pleaded with me to reconsider and told me to think of the kids. They asked me if I really hated my sister that much, and I said yes. I told her that it would be bad enough to be the affair partner, but to encourage me to get engaged and help him plan it while they were cheating behind my back was such a low thing to do. I said the fact that she stayed long enough to have another child with him showed how little she really cared about me. They told me to be a better person than this. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. The sister is not OP's responsibility. the parents are more than welcome to research rentals in the area and job leads and stuff like that. But to ask OP, who has been so grossly injured by her sister, is just unconscionable.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like, like OP said here, he literally was cheating on her behind their back, and the sister was helping plan everything while also continuing to cheat. And I just want to know what were they getting out of this? Like, why go through the trouble of encouraging him to propose and stuff like that? Like, was it the excitement of sneaking around behind OP's back or something like that? Because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe it's just the excitement. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. It doesn't make sense to me, but at any rate, both the sister and the ex acted horribly toward OP, and I understand why she never wants to have contact with either of them again.
Mm-hmm. So I don't blame OP. I don't think that OP should be forced to be in contact with somebody who hurt them so badly. And I don't think that OP is in the wrong for holding on to this. I mean, maybe they should go into therapy and, talk to a therapist and whatnot if they haven't, because this is a lot of baggage to hold on to. But as long as it isn't impacting their life negatively, I think that they are probably fine.
Well, this whole, you need to be a better person. No, you don't. It does not make you a bad person not to want to help someone who so badly hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the avian couple say about the day they met?
That sure was a chirp date that we just had. It was really great because it was just to the videos and the birdseed restaurants. They were watching they went to the fly-in movie theater where it was just the actual television in somebody's house and they were watching it from a distance.
It was love at first flight.
Oh, I guess so.
And there's our birds.
And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior!
Happy Friday, Junior!
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it a song about revenge.
Maybe next time he'll think before he cheats.
That's some sound advice. But don't get revenge on people like that
song.
No,
yeah, don't follow the song lyrics. That is illegal, but it's a catchy tune.
It is a catchy tune. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.